What's going on, gamers? It's Phoxxtwo, and today I have got another very special episode of the Comic Book Nerd Nation. I've got some of my really good friends here with me. I got DePirate.
Arr.
Arr. He's maybe a little hungover today. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I got the whole effing Brian.
I really love tacos.
He loves tacos, guys. I will vouch for him. He loves tacos. And we got Topher.
And I promise I won't mention green dildos this time.
And
I just did. Damn it.
There is that. So, we're back at it again. And so, this week, what we're going to be talking about, I've got another list of comic book related... God, you guys kill me. I got another list of comic book related topics. And let's just dive right in here. This is the quintessential holy grail of comic book questions that everybody has been asked ever since they were 5 years old, back in the 80s when we were, knee-high to a cornstalk and loved comic books. Who's your favorite superhero? Pirate.
Superman. When I was the kid running around in tighty whities, a Superman t-shirt, a red cape, cowboy boots, and for some reason a gunfighter belt with plastic cap guns. Like, that's Superman is the most iconic. When I think of my youth, my kid, or my me running around as a kid, it was Superman all day long, and then Batman too. So. Okay,
so even now you identify with Superman most. Just brings you back to that childhood memories.
Oh yeah. But I mean, there's other stuff that don't get me wrong. There's tons.
There's always multiple. But if you had to pick one, it would be Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. Topher, what about you?
I feel like Batman is such a trite answer for most people, but who wouldn't want to be the goddamn Batman?
Well, I mean,
But Spider-Man's a favorite of mine too. Like the older I get, Batman's awesome and he does a lot of cool shit, but sometimes he can just be so dark and brooding. And Spider-Man's wit and sarcasm I can really identify with.
Okay. I will jump in. My favorite comic book hero, and all of you guys that know me know this, is the Incredible Hulk, which is kind of, for a long time was the lame duck of superheroes. They actually canceled his comic book series for a number of years before they brought him back. But I really, really just love the whole... And I've heard interviews with Stan Lee where he actually said that he made it based after the Jekyll and Hyde type of situation. And I really just love that whole, athletic, super muscular, brute figure and versus the incredibly intelligent, unassuming person with the dramatic life with the love interest of Betty Ross and all these different aspects to it. I really enjoy reading the Incredible Hulk a lot. What about you, Brian?
I've always loved Spider-Man. It was just, who doesn't want to hang on walls, have that sense when somebody's trying to attack you, and plus he's got the web shooters. You just swing around.
That could be a lot of fun. I see where you're going with this.
Plus, as I grew older and discovered alcohol, I used to climb on shit when I was really drunk, telling people I was Spider-Man.
So, do you remember, there used to be, I can't remember for the life of me if it was like movies or if it was television shows that were aired on like daytime television back in the 90s of Spider-Man, but it was not animated. It was, it was actually like a guy wearing the Spider-Man outfit and stuff. Do you remember these?
I don't remember the 90s, but I remember one from like the 70s.
It could have been filmed in the 70s, and I just watched it much later. I wish I could remember. But anyway, I digress. So, okay, we've got favorite superheroes that we just talked about. Now, stupidest villain. Most ridiculous villain that you can think of in the entire comic book universe, whether it's the Marvel universe, the DC universe, Image Comics, IDW, any of them. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to go first. Again, I'm a huge Incredible Hulk fan, so I do a lot of Incredible Hulk reading, and the first one that comes to my mind is a villain. If you're not familiar with him, he first surfaced in Tales to Astonish. I can't remember the issue number, but his name is Boomerang. And he is a former professional baseball pitcher turned supervillain that throws magnetic little discs and a boomerang and he has jet rocket boots. I can't even tell you how incomprehensibly stupid this whole idea is to me, that basically this guy goes to Lowe's once a week and buys a pack of washers and like velcros them to his chest, and then he uses this somehow to split people's handguns in half. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. You know, I'll buy into a lot in the comic book universe, but this is just a little bit, you know, at least give him some kind of backstory that tells me why he has the ability to throw so hard that he can cut a gun in half with a metal washer, not just that he was a professional. You know what I'm saying? You give Nolan Ryan, one of the best pitchers of our age, a metal washer, I guarantee you he's not going to throw that at a Glock and cut it in half. I'm just saying. Randy Johnson,
too?
not going to happen. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Brian, your turn. Stupidest comic book villain that you can think of.
There is probably a lot, but I can't think of one right now. I mean, I was going to say Captain Boomerang from DC Comics, almost the same idea as what you just said. I mean...
so they had the same failboat idea on both sides of the street, DC.
Yeah, but if I really... I mean...
Okay, well, what about you, Pirate?
Man, there's one I keep thinking of, and I can't remember his name. I think he was a Justice League villain. He had on purple tights. He was an old man in like this tunic. He was like a fairy or an imp from like another like dimension that he got like blipped over here. He was always causing problems for like Superman or somebody. I can't remember his name for the life of me though.
You guys are just failing miserably on the supervillains. Topher, tell me you've got something, Topher.
You know, I tend to forget all the really bad ones. You know, plus you saw these questions ahead of time, so you kind of had an advantage.
I did. I really did. And
you've got an answer.
I had a second one. I did have a second one that came up. I don't know that much about this villain, but he was an old school Batman villain. So any of you real big Batman fans might be able to, you know, clue me in on this in the comment section if you have an idea of what this guy was really, really about. And it may have even been back in the Detective Comics days. I'm not 100% sure, but there was a villain in the Batman series named Quilt Man that actually like wore a costume that was like random patches of a quilt.
Did his grandmother make it?
I like I said, I don't know that much about it, but just hearing the name alone made me think, wow, this is retarded as hell. Like quilt, tell me one way in which a quilt seems dangerous. Enough said. Thank you.
I mean, you could smother one.
Well, if you got really wet, you could just lay on people.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that seems a little out there on the far-fetched. You're kind of reaching for that one. That's okay. So
I got one.
Okay,
I just thought of one.
All right.
There is a character I think he's a Spider-Man villain. I'm not too sure. His name is Paste Pot Pete.
Wow.
I think they changed his name
wow.
Like in the more recent years. Like, but he was a Spider-Man villain who had a gun that would shoot glue, and that would be his weapon.
That was it. He had a gun that shot glue.
And his more recent name is the Trapster.
Why didn't they rename him to like Hot Glue Gun Glenn or something?
I don't know. Elmer's Larry.
Right, you know.
Elmer's Elmer the
Okay.
Ellsmer guy.
Okay, so on to the next topic. DC Zero Year. Now, I am not a huge DC follower. I did get involved in the new 52 when it came out. I bought some of the Justice League America, Justice League Dark, a handful of the other ones. I personally enjoyed the artwork. I enjoyed some of the storylines that came out. But traditionally, I have favored more towards the Marvel side of things than the DC side of things. So, it was my heroic compatriots that I'm talking with here today that brought to my attention the whole idea of the 0 year. And Pirate, if you want to jump in and just give us a quick synopsis of exactly what that whole idea is without getting too crazy overboard.
Basically, Bruce Wayne shows up to Gotham City around the same time an EMP goes off, done by the Riddler, and then basically as Bruce Wayne's developing his Batman character and going through, readjusting after being gone away for so long, all this chaos unfolds. There's a huge, kind of like a huge tropical storm about to breeze through Gotham, and it ties in all basically everyone in that Gotham universe, and some out, like Superman in Smallville, get pulled into Gotham to do these little, one-off comics,
So
John Stewart's.
Essentially what you're saying is it ties together everybody that's in the universe. It gives you that backdrop, that back history of where they came from and how they got to current day DC 52.
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't give them it because John Stewart's a prime example. He's the Green Lantern, and he's still a Marine. He's not even in the Lantern Corps.
Okay.
And he shows up to evacuate a stadium filled with hostages, or not hostages, but they're filled with people who don't want to leave. They're staying there, and anarchy's there, and he's trying to lead an uprising. So Green Lantern or John Stewart as the Marine and his squad take on anarchy.
Okay.
So there's a lot of little tie-ins. Nightwing is still Dick Grayson with the Flying Graysons.
Okay.
His
So
parents
this
are alive.
is essentially like a history lesson in the DC universe almost.
Yeah, it gives you a little taste of what they were before as you know them.
Well, this might be good for me, somebody that's a rookie DC person. Topher, you're more of a Marvel guy. You might enjoy this as well. I don't know. So that being said, this kind of ties me into something that Brian and Topher, I know you're being super silent over there. Feel free to chime in at any time. But Brian brought this topic to my attention, and this is the Forever Evil series. Fill us in on what that is, Brian.
Well, Forever Evil is a little, I guess, storyline that's been going on for the past few months and will go into, I believe, March of next year. Basically, the crime syndicate who they used in the earlier DC universe before they went to the 52, which are evil versions of the Justice League. Evil Superman, Owlman is the evil Batman. And they came into this universe and got rid of all the Justice League and basically trying to turn the planet into their own evil universe. And basically it follows most of the original DC villains like Lex Luthor, Black Manta, and they don't like that they're being told what to do, so they're starting to find a way to revolt against these evil Justice League members that just showed up and are starting to tell people what to do. It's basically introducing a lot of the old villains that haven't showed up in the new 52 yet, like Bizarro and villains like that. And the thing I like is the only Justice League member that didn't get sent off or killed or whatever happened to the heroes, the only one to survive was Batman. And
Really?
Batman's trying to
Because he's
figure out a way
Batman.
Yeah, he's
So
Batman.
it's Batman, the one of the Justice League members that actually doesn't have any real superpowers per se. He's just, incredibly wealthy, incredibly intelligent, and technologically advanced, similar to the Marvel version, basically, of an Iron Man.
Yep.
Wow, that's kind of shocking that he would be the one that would survive, being that you had Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all these people with I mean
Well, if you're gonna try to kill you're gonna try to kill somebody off, I guess kill the ones that are got the powers.
I agree completely.
I mean, it's still very new, this whole Forever Evil. It's only gotten up to issue 3, so you don't know what's happened to everybody, but it's probably one of the best stories I've read this year.
Well, this is going to be something that I am absolutely 100% going to have to pick up at the comic book store next week, for sure. So,
Aquaman's going to save the day. Watch.
as our final question for the day, if there is one superhero, mind you, in all of the comic book universe that you could do without and you could kill off and they could write him right out of the fucking world, who would it be? Pirate.
Oh, God.
Gotta pick one. Shotgun answer. Go.
Aquaman. He's just boring. I can't get behind him.
Oh, you can't say Aquaman. He's not that bad.
Every time he's a standalone, like when he's in the Justice League, they tie him in good. But when he's like by himself, it's like, oh, he's fighting with his brother all the time. Like, dude, you got daddy issues. Like, come on, bro.
Like a bad episode of Maury Povich.
Well,
Topher, what shotgun answer? What do you got?
I'm gonna go radical here and say Superman.
Superman? Why?
Oh.
You got to give me a reason. You have to give the whole world a reason at this point.
Well, for one, I'm more of a Marvel fan, so I don't really have any qualms about killing off a major DC hero. But
okay.
I just think it would be interesting. It would really shake up the status quo. You've got the guy who, who's like kind of the paragon of the DC
comic
world,
books.
and he's the superhero. Like he's like the iconic superhero.
He is really of the entire comic book universe, really, Marvel or DC.
And they tried to kill him. They already did it. Doomsday killed him. He came back.
He did, and he came back. Now they should kill him off for good. It would shake up the status quo.
It really would.
Yeah.
It would make things very interesting.
You're talking about this whole, the bad guys taking over thing. Just imagine, like, if they had that symbol rally around, that Superman is dead.
It's gone.
And I'm not talking, he'll be reborn, here in a few months at the next big crossover. I'm talking about, like, dead, done, gone, permanently. Like, just, you want to change a world of comics,
That's the way to do it, for sure.
Set something new,
that would do
he's the one to do it. Plus, I've never really been a big Superman fan, so I can do without him. To me, he doesn't have. I just can't identify with him. He's just too perfect. Like they made him when they created him.
They made
he
him
was supposed to be
100% perfect.
Exactly. Made him the golden boy. And like there's just not enough human relatable qualities to him. Like when I read it, I'm just bored.
I agree.
Like Batman has his issues. Pretty much everybody in the Marvel universe has, their own insecurities and background story. Superman's just like, he's the perfect dude, so.
But you know what, though? Like,
we don't need that.
He conflicts with that all the time, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he knows he's not the perfect dude. He just always keeps having these, conflictions, like, of doing things. Like,
I don't want to hear him whine either. Just kill him.
Dude, he walks around like the world's I mean, it's like everything he does, he has to be careful because the world's so fragile around him. Like, rarely does he turn it up to, like, 6.
Yeah.
But, I mean, think about this. Like, here's something, Trish, you might even like to read. It was, Brian, you might know, I remember, what was it, Superman Red? Where they revamped it. And, like, they dropped him off. Like, instead of him landing in Smallville, Kansas, he landed in, like, outside of Moscow. You know what I mean? So it's like if Superman would have grew up Russian.
Yeah.
What he would, and it really was like a shake-up read. It's like, man, like,
okay.
Really?
So to get back to redirect us back on topic because we're running out of time, Brian, you're one superhero that you could do without.
Let's get rid of Wonder Woman.
Wow,
Oh,
really?
that's a good
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
she's an
You gotta
Amazonian.
you gotta be kidding me. Wonder
She's
Woman?
good. I mean, what
Really?
is she? She's super strong. She's almost as powerful as Superman, but she can't. I mean,
She has the lasso of truth, which
she
comes
has,
in handy
which is
all the time.
boring. It's like, ooh, I want to know the truth. Like,
Every
come
time
on.
they have a big like investigative story, a big mystery or whatever, the lasso of truth is always like the quintessential part that solves the problem.
But
Way
you don't
too
need a
easy.
lasso for that. I mean, Bruce Wayne can have that. Hell, the Punisher has a lie detector that he wears on his belt.
I'm just saying.
You know?
I'm just saying.
And
See,
like,
but if you kill off Superman, then Wonder Woman's powers are relevant again.
yeah, but
Touche.
if you don't, then she's irrelevant. Plus,
Okay,
she lives
look,
on an island filled with girls, and
The
I mean,
Justice
not
League.
that.
Don't
The
act like
Justice
you
League.
would.
Sounds like the life right
Oh
there.
yeah, I would
dude.
Don't
love to
act
go
like
to
you
that
would like
island,
to
but
live
still,
on-
like, she's so like, I don't know.
The
There's
Justice
something
League is
about her.
already a giant sausage fest. You really want to kill off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one
there
woman
you
on the
go.
team.
Come
There
on,
You
but
can't
there's-
do it.
There's many
They
there's
got
other
one thing making them heterosexuals.
superhero
Take
chicks
that
that could take her
We
place.
already have a problem in comics with, them not being approachable by, to a female audience because of not enough
You wanna take-
identifiable female heroes. And then, you
wanna
want to
take-
kill off the
there's the female
biggest
Superman.
iconic, female superhero in the DC universe, and you want to just get rid of her.
Not just the biggest female superhero in the DC universe, but the biggest female superhero in the world, period. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
talking Marvel, DC, anybody. Nobody, as far as superheroes goes, is more recognizable as a female than Wonder Woman. And I am a fan of. I like Wonder Woman. I think the New 52 Justice League. I can't remember. I think it was like issue 4 or 5. The cover they did. It was a Jim Lee art, and it had the cover with Wonder Woman on the cover. That was one of the coolest covers when that first came out. It was awesome. I can't believe you want to kill her off.
The New
Plus,
52
she
just
actually
made
balanced
her. The New 52 just made her the God of War. Also,
Oh, nice. Is that in the Superman Wonder Woman?
no, I think that was
Oh.
in the regular Wonder Woman issues. But still, like, I don't know. Give somebody without powers a chance, like Batgirl. I mean, she's been around for so long. Give her a little push by killing off
Wait,
Wonder Woman.
Barbara Gordon or Stephanie Brown?
Barbara Gordon.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure which one you were talking about for a second.
All right, so
You have
I'm
to
going
go
to
with the
jump in.
redhead.
I'm going to jump in. My superhero that I could personally do without is I'm gonna have to agree. As much as Brian's going to hate me for this, I'm going to have to agree with Pirate. Aquaman is just. I just can't. I mean, I know everybody always hates on Aquaman, and there's part of him that is just cool as shit, and like the whole idea of like being able to like call in all the sea creatures to help him and everything. But then you got like the whole aspect of like 95% of the battles in comics happen on land. So
That's why he's
what
part
now?
human.
Like what now? Like,
Just think of this.
well, you're not going to call in a shark
But
to
he's-
attack somebody in the middle of New
Sharknado.
York. I'm just
He's-
saying, like,
Sharknado.
Especially if
You
it
can't,
has
like-
shark repellent anyway.
yeah,
But he's super strong.
And Topher and Pirate got shark repellent on their belts. Man, come on.
But
like-
think of it. He has the weight of the ocean on his body constantly. He is
I mean, that's cool.
almost
and
as
all,
powerful
but,
as
like,
Superman.
No, I'm not even buying that. Like, you're in the middle of Afghanistan, you're fighting an army of rebels and some kind of random ass superhero, and he's trying to like call in a killer whale. Like, that's not gonna work, man.
But
that's not happening. It's
Where
the
the
middle
fuck
of
the
the
orcas
desert.
show up?
It's the middle of the desert.
Sand
It's not
sharks.
happening.
Sand sharks.
All right, this conversation will obviously have to be continued. I hope everybody enjoyed episode number 2 of Comic Book Nerd Nation with Pirate, Phoxxtwo, Whole Effin' Brian, and Topher. If you guys liked the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button. And as always, have a great day.